Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. In this video, I will explain about how to set default value and required attributes at REST controller methods. First, I will explain why we need these two attributes like default value and required. See here, I am explaining through this REST controller method. See, student exists by ID, right? So I am calling this method through postman. See here, class level path is student, method level path is exists. So here request param is there, right? Request param. So go to parameters, ID, param is expecting long ID. So I am giving 1003. This ID related record is exist. So I am hitting. So first we need to run this Spring Boot application. Right click, run as Spring Boot app. Once successfully up and running Spring Boot application, then I will add this endpoint through Postman. So in this video, we are trying to understand default and required attributes at controller method level. So I'm hitting now. See, it is giving true status 200. Suppose this value I'm not passing. So I'm hitting now. See, we got the 400 bad request. What if will happen if I will make it as required false by default? Say required, whether the parameter is required, default is true. So leading to an exception being thrown if the parameter is missing in the request. So we are not passing right parameter, then it is throwing exception. Switch this to false if you prefer null value if the parameter is not present in the request. So I am changing to false. False. Now again I am stopping Tomcat server. So I am rerunning the server. Let's see now what will happen. So we added one attribute required equal to false. By default, required equal to true. If value of parameter is not present, then it will throw the exception. Let's check now what will happen. So we are now changed to required false. Now I am hitting the endpoint. Here we got the 500. Let's verify the conjure. What will happen? So scroll up. For here, the given ID must not be null. Must not be null. So we got the exception, right? So I will mention default value. I am maximizing. So I am adding default value as well. Default value equal to here comma default value. Default value equal to I am mentioning like default value is suppose false. It is expecting boolean, right? I am giving default value false. Now I am rerunning. What will happen if parameter we are not getting any? It is request parameter. It is a long type. So I am giving 0. What will happen if request parameter value is this request parameter value is not found when we are mentioning the default value? So right click, run as Spring Boot app. Wait until the Spring Boot application up and running. So we are passing now default value. See, I am now sending the request. Here we are getting false 200. Okay. So if we are passing default value, if request parameter is not found, then it will take in the default value 0 and it is submitting into request here. It is submitting into ID equal to like 0. It is submitting like that. So it is sending the request. So it is checking student exists by ID or not. If found, it is returning true, as it is returning false. If we are using default value, it is exceptions. Here what is saying, the default value to use a fallback. It is saying like fallback when the request parameter is not provided. Yeah, the empty value. So if this request parameter is not available, then this default value takes as a fallback value. Then by using this it will provide some result. Instead of raising exceptions, it will avoid raising the exceptions. Here required what is saying. See whether the parameter is required. Default is true, leading to an exception being thrown if the parameter is missing in the request. So if this parameter is not available, you throw the exception. Exception. Remember, switch this to a false if you are preferring null value if the parameter is not present in the request. So instead of raising the exception, required is saying pass the null as a request parameter. They alternatively provide a default value which implemently set this flag to false. So it's saying the default value. If we are passing default value, if original value is not available, request parameter value is not available, then it will takes fallback value. Then it will avoid exceptions, failures. So it is recommended to pass the default value. Default value applicable for request parameter only. Request parameter one is here. Path variable. Path variable is saying required. Required is there, but default value is not there. So request body. Request body is here. So bracket request body required is there, but default value is not there. Default value only there for this request parameter. Remember, default value is there for request parameter. So in this video, we are successfully understand what is a default value and required attributes at REST controller method. Thank you for watching. For more videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel.